Do not adjust your sets, I am 5 foot and a 5 foot. So who are we? We are Veterans for Scottish Independence 2.0, and we are purely and simply a group of ex-service personnel that came together because of a common shared belief. And that common belief is that the best people to make the decisions for the people of Scotland are the people of Scotland. If I had to ask someone to describe the normal no voter, and I describe someone that was born and brought up in the Labour heartland in the shadow of Ravenscraig, whose parents were and relatives were the Masons in the Orange Order, who was a lifelong Rangers fan, and who served for 27 years in the British Army. You think that's a pretty apt description of a no voter, wouldn't you? Well, I've just described myself. So how does someone from that background stand in front of you today and plead for independence? Well, because I served in the British Army. Because I went to the British Army, and yes, I served alongside my English, my Welsh and my Northern Irish comrades, but I also served alongside Fijian comrades, Nepalese, Jamaican, Pakistani, Indian, who all wear the uniform of the British Army and have no problems belonging to their own independent country. Now we, my group, and Veterans for Independence have been called various names by unionists over the last few weeks. We've been called traitors, we've been told that we are defiling the memory of our fallen comrades, and that we are refusing to accept the democratic wishes of the people of Scotland. Well, let's talk about democracy. Democracy is one person, one vote, and a full and frank discussion of the issues that affect us. What we actually have are billionaires buying elections. They own the media, they tell you and decide what you can read, what you can see and what you can hear. That's not democracy, that's a sinister, twisted version of democracy. All parties at Westminster, Tories, Labour and the Lib Dems, are all singing off the same song sheet. They're interchangeable: red Tories, blue Tories, yellow Tories. That is not democracy, and we will not stand for it. Now, one of the things I think that surprised a lot of us on the yes side was that the better together propaganda machine was lying, and it was lying well. The surprise for us was that people would believe those lies, because we all knew that none of it was going to hold up. The vow, plastered across the front page of the Daily Record and shouted from the heavens. And us on the yes side, we looked at each other and thought, no one's going to buy that. Sadly, a large proportion of the no voting population did. When we get told, and we've been told it a lot over the last few days, and I'm sure a lot you have as well, give up, let it go, don't you know the meaning of the word no? It's the settled will of the Scottish people. We say, no, we won't give up, because you didn't fight fair. Exactly. Obviously, I represent an organisation of ex-soldiers, and we've had our asses kicked a lot over the past decade. And if we lose, and we lose fair, we will happily go away, lick our wounds and shut up. What we won't do is be beaten by a corrupt, manipulated media controlled by billionaires. Now, we've spoken before about the values and standards promoted by the British Army. And one of those values and standards that we promote is, I think, called moral courage. And moral courage means speaking out when you know something is not right. Even if doing nothing would be easier, or doing the opposite would bring greater rewards. So we speak out because we have moral courage. Something is rotten in the state of UK, and we will not be silenced. stand by for the Working Time Directive to be attacked. That, if you don't know, that's a directive that stops your employer making you work 60 hours a week. That'll go. Currently the UK has one of the longest working hours in Europe. I think it's about 38 to 40 hours. In France it's 33. But that's what they'll do. And stand by. Wait out for them attacking the minimum wage. There's a lot of talk at the moment about the working wage, but look at the minimum wage. Stand by for the corporations saying that that's unacceptable. Unacceptable to the job creators. The job creators that create nothing but massive profits for their shareholders. Being very, very scared when the press get on board with anything. And look out for an exit from the EU in 2017. And this will all be wrapped up in this. UKIP are driving the agenda of Westminster at the moment. Now, we and my colleagues served in the British Army, and we set out to defend democracy. We will not stand by and watch a repeat of 1930s Germany be played out with Nigel Farage in its place. So as I said, Veterans for Independence 2.0, we will continue to fight for democracy and the rights of the non-person in this country. But we're told, how can you fight? How can veterans fight? If veterans, an independent Scotland won't have an army. Well, look around you, brothers and sisters. We already have an army. And that's why, ultimately, we will succeed. We have the people, we have the passion, we have the commitment, and most importantly of all, we have the desire for change. Groups like mine, and the people that speak to you tonight, we play a small part in this. We try and spread the message a little bit wider than we can. But the important people in this debate, in this discussion, are the people here tonight. Go out, speak to your friends, speak to your neighbours, no voters, yes voters, undecided, and just point them out at the error of their ways, because there has to be a better way. I think everyone agrees there has to be a better way. And if we do that, we keep going, we will have our independence. Thank you.